special guest in our sales channel, Steven Rosen. Steven is a sales coach, author, and speaker who helps organizations transform their teams and improve their sales by using his own methodology. Steven is based in Toronto, Canada. I got in touch through LinkedIn, and I'm sure if you don't know Steven, you need to get in touch with him if you want to improve and crush your numbers. Hello, Steven. How are you doing?
David, I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. What time is it there right now?
It is 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Okay, that's fine. Excellent.
It's already half a day through.
Okay, excellent. First of all, thank you for your time. Welcome to my channel. For those who don't know about you, can you please let us know who's Steven Rosen?
That's a good question. Well, as you said, I'm based in Toronto, Canada, so I'm a Canadian, first and foremost, I'm a father of two wonderful children who are, one is now in sales as a career with a large CPG company, and one in his last year of university, husband. I enjoy going for long walks, especially through COVID, and we have a 1-year-old golden retriever that is happy to walk most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Steven, what made you move from top management position in multinational companies like you worked before, like Vivail, to become an entrepreneur? Can you please talk a little bit about this transition process?
Sure. It's an interesting one for me because I was very successful as a head of sales. I loved sales leadership. And the last company I was with, I had moved and from a company I was with for 10 years and had a lot of opportunities to move from a sales position to a sales management and marketing position. My last role, I actually found it a very challenging place to be, highly political. And within the corporate world, it took its toll on me where I basically burnt out and it was far too stressful. And decided that as opposed to being in the corporate world, I can help people who are going through the same challenges I face in the corporate world, not only driving performance, but managing themselves through highly political environments. And over the last 17 years, my business evolved from sales training. And the last 10 years, I've really focused on sales leadership coaching, helping sales leaders who are the key drivers of success in sales organizations, help them become better at what they do. They're not given the training and development they require to be successful. So I do that as a coach.
Mm-hmm. So I think this transition is a natural evolution. I can see a purpose on this change.
100%. And, part of it is, I think our experiences lead us to different places. I do actually enjoy many parts of being an entrepreneur. I've been in home office for the last 17 years, so COVID has not been a major transition for me. But many folks have left the corporate world because there is a price that you pay to earn the big bucks. And it is a change. So, I was very entrepreneurial in my first role that I was able to grow. In the second company I was with, we had great success, but I found it very constraining. Mm-hmm. And, as head of sales or VP of sales, I felt that my salespeople were more empowered based on my leadership style than I was based on how the corporation worked. Where they're always handcuffing me and making me jump through hoops. I got tired of that, and I realized that wasn't for me, and that most corporations are like that, as opposed to the first one I was with that was much more entrepreneurial in nature.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I understand. You have recently worked with big companies as a business coach, companies like Vitran, Allergan, Novartis. Well, in your opinion, what are the biggest barriers they are facing, all the current organizations to achieve their sales target, apart from the COVID, which is of course something unusual, something that will hopefully go away shortly. In general,
yes,
shortly, hope so.
We all hope so. Spain's done a good job.
Yeah, Exactly. But when the market is in a normal situation, what do you think are the biggest barriers that the companies are facing to crush their numbers?
That's a great question. So my belief is that your key driver for sales performance is your frontline sales manager.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of companies, or most companies, don't do a very good job developing these people. They take their top sales reps, or in some cases, in some industries, they'll move a marketer into a sales management role and assume that these people know what they're doing. And it's probably the hardest job, being a frontline sales manager, because you're no longer an individual contributor, but you're helping other people contribute, and certain skills, innate skills like coaching, execution, hiring. A lot of those skills are not taught, and they're assumed to know them, and that's where they get into trouble. So I believe in if you're going to spend $1 on development, your first dollar should go not to your salespeople, although we love them, but your frontline sales manager, because they can do a lot of the development needs of their salespeople through effective coaching. So that's where I focus, and I think the biggest barrier that companies are facing is one, the next level of management does a really lousy job of coaching there, and not because they're not qualified, but in many cases they're overburdened. Where your VP of sales or your director of sales has so much going on that they neglect or don't have the time to spend with their frontline sales managers or their reports. So who's coaching the coaches? Mm-hmm. That's where I come in, because I think it's there's incredible return on investment if you can improve the performance of your frontline sales managers.
And how do you work with them? How do you help them improve? I mean, because of course in every market is different. The customers are different, and do you work with them doing some field work or just in class training, or both?
Okay, great question. Neither is the answer. Neither.
Really? Okay.
So, well, I shouldn't say that. I'm being provocative, but what I do find is we do some training. So there's certain skill sets we'll train on, like coaching, but most of the work is done one-on-one. So the focus is not just providing them information, it's helping them implement what they've learned. And if you think of great athletes, great athletes have great coaches, because sometimes it's that little bit of difference that it makes. So I don't work in the field with them, although I'd love to. We do it like this, virtually, where we'll have discussions and work through challenges they're facing. But it's real time when you're in coaching. Where training is the one size fits all. So let's say I go into an organization that has a VP and 5 frontline sales managers. Each one has different issues. So where training is sort of a one size fits all, we'll train everybody how to coach. The coaching component, or the one-on-one component, actually helps transform them into great coaches, because we all, sometimes when we train, we don't understand something, and then we just go back to where we were. Where I don't know if do you golf, David?
No, not really.
Neither do I. I used to in the corporate world, but I was always lousy at not coaching, but at golfing. So I decided I'd go get lessons. So when I'd get lessons, the coach would watch me and they'd say, do this or do that. Then I'd go out for my first round and I'd be back to where I started. I need the coach in there with me.
Exactly.
So coaching is the most powerful way to create change with individuals, where training falls short because it doesn't have the reinforcement needed.
Okay, I understood. And what do you think, in your opinion, what makes your company unique? I mean, is this kind of methodology, or is your experience, is something else? I mean, the way you have explained how you help other organizations improve.
So another really good question. It's actually I was thinking about. I always think about how do we differentiate ourselves. One thing is my experience, because I have lived the role of a frontline manager, a director of sales, a VP of sales. So certainly my experience helps. Also understanding, because it doesn't matter what industry you're in, leading people is leading people. It's about the people portion. And what I try to bring different is I have developed my own methodology. And my belief is that companies try to do too much. And what I mean by that is, let's say you have 6 or 7 or 8 initiatives that you're driving. Well, it's very hard, excuse me, to do too many. So I believe in focus. Doing less is doing more. But doing those 3 things, and 3 seems to be my magic number, or if you do, pick 3 things really well. So let's say you're coaching someone, helping them in 1, 2, or 3 areas, more so than 10, because that they can't change in 10 or improve in 10. But the same as when companies execute. If you try to do too much, you end up doing nothing really well. So my belief in my coaching methodology is about focus, and my business application is about focus, doing few things, up to 3 things, and really doing them extremely well, I think will put you ahead of your competition.
Okay, I see. That sounds really interesting. Most of the subscribers of my sales channel are people who's related in sales.
Yes.
The goal of this channel is try to help other people to improve their skills. So if you could give them 1 or 2 pieces of advice about what they can really focus to improve, what would you say?
Okay. Well, actually, you just hit the nail on the head. I mean, if you're trying to be successful, I believe it's focus is the number 1 thing for successful people. So whether you're a sales rep, a sales manager, or a VP of sales, part of the thinking is figuring out what are the 2 or 3 things that are going to make you successful, and doing those extremely well. And some other things you may say, well, I'm not going to focus here because I'm focused on these 3 things. And companies who do a better job, or people who do a better job, your top salespeople tend to be very focused and knowing what's critical for success. So number 1 to me, focus is one of the key success factors. The other thing I think in life and in business is you got to learn. You got to be constantly learning. I see you've got books behind you, so you must be an avid reader. But reading, listening to other people, seeking out sources. The internet is full of resources to continue to learn. Continuous learning, I think, is critical as an entrepreneur. There's so many things I have to know, and I try to get good at whether it be my website or even stuff like sales, like cold calling. I just read a book in that area. So I think, for advice for anyone in sales, anyone in management, it's stay focused and continually learn and be open. I do believe coaching, get yourself a coach, get yourself a business coach or a sales leadership coach, or tap into resources. So continue to, as Stephen Covey says, sharpen the saw.
Okay. I think I totally agree with that.
I can see that by your background.
Yeah, I like it. I think nowadays we have huge competition from everywhere, but we have more and more resources than ever. If you want to know about some specific area or field in which you want to improve your skills, you can do it. And there's a lot of free contents you can find on the internet. Yeah, and who were your mentors or people who inspired you when you were younger and just started to get into the sales career? Do you find someone who really were a source of inspiration for you?
I mean, to be honest, no. I was very driven in my younger days. A funny story: when I was in high school, we in the old days we did an aptitude test that used to check off what areas you're interested in to give you an idea of where you should go career. I was very one-dimensional. It was all business interest, so I was very driven in that area. Although since I've been in business, I love Tony Robbins and his work. It's inspiring. It's high energy. It's about mindset, the importance of having the right mindset. So certainly that's one person I try when I go up and speak. I try to channel Tony Robbins, his energy and his excitement about being successsul.
I think you have mentioned a very important work for sales reps, which is I think you mentioned a word very important, which is mindset. I think for sales rep, to try to reinforce your mindset every day, because we are in a career where we hear the word no very often. So you need to build yourself, build your trust in yourself. Otherwise, the next meeting is going to be a disaster. So it's important to keep your mindset a high energy, as you said before.
100%. And I was watching a gentleman who teaches coaches how to coach, and one of the things he said, which I do more often now, is the victory position with your arms up, reaching for the sky. That's a good way to get yourself in a good mindset, actually, and you breathe. But mindset is so critical. Some people say it's 80% of the game. I don't know if that's the case, but certainly it's a big part of the game, and especially in sales, or you watch basketball. Toronto Raptors have a great Spanish player by the name of Gasol.
Pau Gasol. Yeah.
Yes, the brothers. But there was one player who struggled through the playoffs, and it's not that he's not a good player, but some of it, I think, is you get in your own mind. And if you think you can make the shot, you probably make it. But if all of a sudden you're a little nervous or a little tense, the mindset component is so critical.
Totally agree. And what has been the impact of this current crisis we have with the COVID in your business? Is it been good or be bad? Because some business, like the online business, is going up, or technology companies are booming right now. Some are not. What's your case?
So I should be booming. Basically, I've seen a shift in business, and the shift has been from, I do a lot of work with corporations, where the corporate sponsor pays. They may have 5 or 10 managers, and some of my good customers have cut back on spending because their sales are down. And where I've been able to make it up is on more individual coaching, where someone is paying for their own development. Online, I've been online. I guess more people are open to do online stuff, like with Teams or Zoom. It's now become everyday practice, where I used to offer my clients an option. Do you want to meet on Zoom? Do you want to meet on Teams? In the old days, we used Skype, but it's all the same thing. It's virtual business. So some of it has slowed down. I'm hoping it's going to budgets will open up in 2021, which is not that far off. And some of it I've been able to supplement with working more individual sales leaders and helping them because they want to support their own development. Okay. So it's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
But when crisis hits, you've got to see ways to shift and adjust your business.
Yeah, totally agree. You wrote a book called 52 Sales Management Tips.
Yes.
Can you please tell us a little bit about it? How it can be purchased? What it's about? Why 52? I had this question. Why 52?
That's a great question. 52 weeks in a year. So there's one tip for every week. That was
okay. I got it.
I don't know if you can see it. I keep it here, not for promotion, so people can view it. I wrote the book one summer when I was sitting out in my deck and thought there's a lot of tips I shared with clients, and I think, oh my God, I never thought of that. So I put those into a book. It's a very easy read. It could be for new managers, for tenured managers, and it focuses on areas like focus, like coaching, like hiring. So it provides some very simple, short tips. It's available either in whatever hard copy, or you can get it as an ebook, and it's on Amazon. And I'm trying to think of the other retailers. I mean, Amazon is so big, but any of the key book retailers have it, and people can get it there for under $10 US.
And I assume that these are tips that you have experienced yourself and tested, right?
100%. In fact, if you want to ask me what my favorite tip is, and I'm happy to share that with you, but
sure.
It goes back to another crisis, and I call it. I have a couple names for it: the preemptive strike. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. back in 2002, which is a long time ago, in Canada, SARS hit. I remember it was also a virus.
No, I don't remember that.
It's the SARS. I'm trying to think what it stands for. So I was in the healthcare business, and our sales reps couldn't get in to see hospitals, and basically as VP of sales, you don't have a lot of levers to pull. Your sales reps have more levers, where I only had a few, but that hit in March of 2002. And Canada was impacted. I think some other parts in the world, Toronto especially, was impacted. And so I got my February sales, and the sales were off. And as VP of sales, I used to get sales before the rest of the company because they came in through a third party, the sales numbers. So the preemptive strike is basically, if things are down, if your sales are down, you want to be proactive. You don't want other people to figure out there's a problem. So I realized there was a problem in February. I designed a 3-point plan, walked myself down to the president's office and said, hey, I'm concerned about sales. We're going to do A, we're going to do B, and we're going to do C. And I left. And usually the next day when sales came out for general distribution, I would get a call from my boss. And this time I didn't, because I was proactive. So one of the lessons, or one of my favorite tips, and sometimes sales managers forget this, is if things are off, it happens. The question is always, what are you doing about it? So if you can project to your boss that you're on top of the issues, whether it's your territory, your region, or the whole country, and say, hey, I've got a plan in place and this is what I'm doing, it allows you to do it, as opposed to someone coming and saying, David, why are sales off? Or Steven, why are sales off? Because you hate to be in that position. Because the reality is sometimes you just don't know. Right?
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
What's the issue? And we had 100 reps. Knowing exactly what the issue is, I knew it was kind of access to our customers, but so I call it either being proactive or preemptively striking, saying, hey, there's a problem and I've got a plan, where a lot of people will sit there and, oh my God, I hope nobody finds out. And to me, it's the other approach. And a lot of clients who have experienced downturns or sales being off don't know what to do. And for me, it's you hit it head on. You come up with, so there's a 3-point plan, and then you communicate, this is what you're doing. And then people will say, oh my God, Steven's on top of his business. I'm going to worry about marketing now as opposed to sales, right?
I see.
Leaders always worry about something that's not working well. So you don't want it to be you. So if you're the most proactive in the group, the perception is you're on top of your business, even if things are down.
Exactly. I think that's a good piece of advice. Absolutely. Just the last question for those who want to find you, who want to contact you, who want to hire you, where they can find you.
Well, David, if they're persistent like you, they can find me on LinkedIn. And I mean that in the most positive way. I am on LinkedIn, and I publish a bit on LinkedIn. My website is www.starresults, STARRESULTS, that's what we help deliver.com. And you can reach me at Steven with STEVEN at starresults.com is my email. And my phone number in Canada is 905-737-4548. So I'm easy to reach, I'm easy to find. And I try to be as accommodating as I can. I work with a few select group of customers. I don't do mass work. When they work with me, they work with me, not an associate.
Okay, excellent. Steven, thank you very much for your time. I have enjoyed this brief conversation with you. I hope we get in touch, and I wish you all the best.
David, same to you. Thank you, and it's a pleasure seeing you. Not in person, but virtually. So,
okay.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate that, and I'm glad we connected.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.
Bye bye.